How are you? Welcome to our call this morning. Nice to see you all. It's a nice Wednesday morning, and it's nice to be back again, speaking to you about different ways of marketing. Today, I want to talk about influencer marketing. And just to start us off, I just want to know if you have ever heard of influencer marketing. If you have, say yes in the chat. If you haven't, say so that I can know where to start off from. Have you heard about influencer marketing? Say yes or no in the chat. Have you heard about influencer marketing? Okay, my name is Anne Bachaita, and today I want to tell you about influencer marketing and how we can use it in our lives, in our businesses. It's actually, influencer marketing is a mainstream form of online marketing, and it has been used actually regularly in the media, and that's what they refer to it, influencer marketing. It's a form of social media marketing involving endorsements and product placement by people or organizations who have influence, who have a perceived or purported expertise of knowledge or social influence in their field. So those are the people we use in influencer marketing. Yet there are people who really, most people do not understand it. They think it's all about using celebrities, but it doesn't have to be a celebrity, actually. It's all about someone who can represent your product or your service well in such a way that he or she can cause people to buy into buying your product. All right, so it's something we really need to use, because in this age, there are people who are coming up to influence people's decision. If somebody says something is good, so many other people will also follow suit and use that product or use that service. So it is with us. It has actually been there, but it's all with us again. We can still use it. If you look back at adverts on TV, they would usually put someone who's prominent or someone becomes associated with using that product. And adverts are still there, but now more so on social media. We need to tap into people who are very active on social media, who have a following, but not just a following. It's not just about related to the number of likes and followers. Not everybody is active, but somebody who has a following which engages with them. Someone who can ask a question and people answer. Someone who can talk about something and people look closely at what they have said. So that is what is influencer marketing. Those are the people of influence. So influencer marketing is actually a hybrid of the new marketing tools. It takes the idea of someone who is a celebrity endorsing something, and then you place it out there for people to see, and that drives the marketing campaign when you do that. The main difference is that in influencer marketing, the results of the campaign are the collaborators, the people who collaborate or who are engaged with someone who's of influence. They can also tell others about it. So it can spread out to more people than just the one who is on the front page, who's the one you see greatly, and replicate to other people as well. So welcome all of you who are coming on board. I asked a question, have you ever heard of influencer marketing? If you have, say yes in the chat. If you haven't, say no, so that I really know where we are at with influencer marketing. But first of all, you could ask yourself, who is an influencer? What is an influencer? Let's define an influencer. An influencer is a person who has the power to affect the purchasing decisions of others because of his or her authority, or because of their knowledge, because of their position, or relationship with the audience. So think of a person who is in that category. An influencer is also a person who has a following in a distinct niche with whom he or she actively engages. The size of the following depends on the size of her topic of the niche. That's also another person who's an influencer. So think about a person who can affect the purchasing power of the people. So that person is an influencer. So we are going to look at ourselves, and it doesn't have to be only celebrities only. There are people who are very influential, like in churches. You know, someone who will say something in church, or who will be on the committee to fundraise for something, and because they're on that committee, the money will be raised in record time, and an activity will be done, be it a social event, or be it something you want to do as a group of people. You know, there are those people. Those are influencers. Those are people whom you should look at as influencers because they have the power to affect people's decision about what to do, what to buy, what topic to talk about, to engage. In traditional media, there's a mistake that makes it a failure to see the differences between the celebrities and the online influencers. You know, there's a narrow difference between the two. We tend to look at celebrities, but not every celebrity will be an influencer. And then not every influencer will be a celebrity. I've given you an example of someone who can be very influential in church. They might not be a celebrity, but they wield influence. They can determine whether people buy into an idea or not. So influencers have systematically built a keen and enthusiastic audience. They could do it systematically, or they could, just by who they are, their personality, they build an audience. So we should tap in with those people. It's not actually accidental that these people follow influencers rather than a brand. People can follow an influencer more than even just a brand. But when you add an influencer to a brand, then you even get more results because you're having someone who's influential and is selling a brand for you or a product or a service for you. So that is very important to identify which influencer will you work with in your field, who will be able to promote your service or your product. And those people have an audience, and they can command what an audience will do. They can even bring in an audience to you, or they can walk away with an audience from you. So they really wield that power because they have a group of followers who believe in them, that whatever they say, whatever they comment about is worth investigating. So now let's add the two together, influencer and marketing. So what is influencer marketing? Like I said, I'll repeat for those who joined in later. Influencer marketing involves a brand collaborating with an online influencer to market one of its products or services. Some influencer marketing collaborations actually are less tangible than that of a brand, but they simply work there and influence people to improve on their brand recognition. So I've given you an example, but you can also think of other examples. Today, I do not want to mention names, but you can know people who are influencers, who can influence people's decisions, whether to buy something or not. And an influencer, like I said, can be anyone. What makes them influential is their large followings, on social media, on the web, or in a society where they're involved. For example, an influencer can be a photographer, someone who takes photos and puts them out there, and they're so lovely. I know you know of some people who are influencers in the photography world in our country, because they take photos which tell a story, then they become influencers. A person can be an influencer because of their blogs. If they write a lot on social media, they can also gain a following because people want to read what they write. So those are the people who can be influencers. And some of them are even among us here on this call. So we have influencers among us. Or someone who is a respected marketing executive, and they can also be influential. They can be on LinkedIn. I know someone who's on LinkedIn, and he's a journalist by profession, but he writes, he always highlights people who have gotten into good jobs. And because of that, he's such an influencer. And all he does is to know that somebody has gotten a good position, and then he writes about that person, that he has now gotten into this position. But then he has a large following. And do you know what? People follow him because when they also get their promotions, they want to be highlighted on his page, because he will say, so-and-so has gotten into this position. So those are influencers. Those are the people we can use in our influencer marketing. And such people have developed a reputation for being experts in their field. You can develop an influence by talking about a field. I'm also reminded of another doctor who writes about health and wellness. He has become a force to reckon with, because he will just write, he will just put a picture of his plate. This is what I eat. And he'll show you the amounts of fats, carbohydrates, and PFC, proteins, on his plate. And then he writes about just a short paragraph, not even a lot, but he has become a force to reckon with because he does that, and he systematically does it, and he yields influence such that people are saying, are you eating like Dr. So-and-so? Are you watching your weight like Dr. So-and-so told us? All because he posts that on social media. So what they do is they share those best pictures, they share videos, and run with the most information which we need to know about, and they put it on online, and it generates discussions. So that's how they're able to do it. I'll now tell you about some statistics of influencer marketing, and you really realize how important it is and how we really need to include it in our marketing. It has actually grown over the years because people in businesses, some of them actually pay money to these influential people so that they have a mention of their product, a mention of the brand of a certain brand they want to be out there. They are paid to do that. But even if you are not paying, you can ride on to an influential person. But usually they like paying. I once tried to get into an influential radio personality, and she was like, you must pay me something, or you must give them a product to use for free so that they know about the product and then they can talk about it. So be willing to part with some money. If you want to get something, you have to pay for it. Many things do not come cheap. They do not come free. You have to pay for them. So back to the statistics, somebody did a survey. This is the Influencer Marketing Hub. They did a survey and they realized that 90% of the survey respondents believe that influencer marketing is an effective form of marketing. 90% of those who are surveyed. That speaks volumes, you know. And then 67% of brands use Instagram for influencer marketing. Instagram. And the good thing, Instagram is linked to Facebook. For some of us who are more comfortable with Facebook, the two are now joined together. So 67% of the brands use Instagram for influencer marketing. Then this one, I like this one. 1,360 influencer marketing focused platforms and agencies entered the market in the last 5 years alone. So there are platforms which are just focused influencer marketing. Did you know that? They're out there. And they entered the market in the last 5 years alone. And then let me tell you more about the statistics. Influencer marketing has grown to $16.4 billion in 2022. That's how it grew. Now we are in 2023. I wonder how much it's going to grow this year. That's how much it is growing. So we really have to use this. We have to use this. And now let's look at what works in influencer marketing. You have to be organized. You have to put together a strategy. If you are carefully considering to do this approach, plan a budget, spend time on research, see what works, what other people are doing, what works for them. Then you decide on your approach to finding influencers. Go out there, find them organically, subscribe to their platforms, or you can use connections to work through an agency to get you to them. But be patient and be human, because people talk to people. There is that human element which cannot be done away with. It's not just a matter of, I do this, and I'll get it done. There is the human part. Be patient, be human. It's not, remember, it's not companies talking to companies. It is people talking to people. This is a people-based kind of marketing. It involves people. People need to talk to people whom they trust, whom they know that they are credible people. So build that. Then you develop a schedule. Does the influencer prefer to promote you monthly, quarterly, biannually, through calls, through postings, newsletters, if that is what you want to do? And then integrate your public relations schedule, or when you're going to release a new product, release it with using a person of credibility. If you're releasing a new product on the market, or you are, for example, you're starting to do a new product in your baking and you want it to be marketed very far, then involve someone who will promote your new product release. I see that being done in Jeunesse when they were developing the weight management program, the products. They invited someone who was into fitness, someone who was popular, known in the fitness world, and he was interviewed and they launched the product using him. But like I said, with these things, you can pick what works for you. In your own way, you can also find something to do. In your own way, when you're launching a product, getting into the market, telling the people what you are now doing, what you're selling, what service you're providing, you can involve someone who is an influencer to be there at your event. So this will carry weight in that. And you could also need to know what influencer marketing is not. It is not just about finding someone with an audience and offering them money or exposure so that they can say good things about you. It is not that. That is usually done by the viral celebrities, but influencers are people who've spent time building their own brand, and cultivating their audience. So they will be naturally protective of their reputation and the people who trust them. So you have to win their trust, because their trust also and their reputation is at stake when they represent you or when they market for you. So there are people who have the patience. The influencers are the people who have the patience and focus to succeed on social media. They've worked through this. It's something they have worked for, so respect that. So people like this aren't interested in doing influencer marketing solely for the money. Some of them, it might not be just for the money, it's about their reputation. And also influencer marketing is not about quick results, you know? It's a slow and steady approach. Just as we talked about social media and content marketing, it's a slow and steady approach. It takes time, where your campaign isn't about directly selling your wares, your products, your services. Instead, it's about demonstrating your authority, your credibility, and thought leadership within your industry. And in this course, this is what we are doing. We are building that. We are building that, and as we build that, we will tell you about our products, our services, which we have to offer. But this is a place where we are using this to build our credibility. It's about becoming synonymous with whatever it is that you offer. Like when people say, remember those times when we used to photocopy documents? We still do. And we used to say, I'm going to Xerox this document. Did you know that Xerox was just a company which was photocopying, which pioneered photocopying? But then it got to a point where you just say, instead of saying, I'm going to photocopy this document, you'd say, I'm going to Xerox this document. Or another example is the Hoover, the vacuum cleaner. Hoover is a company, but you can just say, I'm going to hoover my carpet or all that. Yet it's just a company. But even you can be a person like, I look forward to a time where I appear in public at an event and people will associate me with the Jeunesse products. Yeah, I'm building that so that people know, oh, you are one of those people who distributes the Jeunesse products, because I use them, because I talk about them, because I'm marketing them. That is why I post about them on my social media. I'm looking forward to that time when I'll be synonymous with that. So with influencer marketing, just like social media marketing, it's a slow game of acquiring the kind of followers who are going to be loyal and engaged. Mark you those words, loyal and engaged followers, not just followers for the sake of following, but loyal and engaged. So don't be tempted to think that joining forces with an influencer is going to be an easy way into the hearts and minds of the people who follow them. It's not that simple, but it can be done. Because you are going to ally yourself with an influencer, you've got to earn their respect and their trust. And then together, you will go places with your marketing. And also another thing that doesn't work in influencer marketing is generalizing your approach to finding and making use of different users. One size doesn't fit all influencers. So tailor your approach to that specific influencer who will work for you. Don't just look at their popularity as an influencer. Influence does not only mean popularity, by the way. Remember that your goal is to elicit a particular action for your customers. Have the customers, have the end in mind. That is your customers. Have them in mind. Don't automatically assume that the people with the most followers are the influencers of your niche. They might not be influencers of your niche. So look out for an influencer. So I want you to write down somewhere which influencer has come to your mind you're going to pursue. Or if you haven't gotten one yet, look out for one. Which one are you going to look out for? So traditional social media marketing, actually, a brand can set up its identity on whatever platform it chooses. And as time passes on, the followers grow in number. That's what brand champions are doing. Yes, thank you, Rev Walter. Yes, please continue. But when you get these followers, they can be nurtured through personal attention, and then you build a brand through that. these efforts to market to this group focus, you have to focus on ways to keep them spreading the word. Yeah, that's very key, not just for them to know about it themselves, but they have to be able to spread the word. And they spread the word by their mouths, by what they say, but also by what they post. What they post will spread the word. So we really have to work on this because it works. It has proved well for people, and we can also incorporate it in our businesses. You might say that I have a small network. Maybe I don't have many friends or associates representing me, but they all have different tastes and preferences. You know, they all come with different tastes and preferences, and then they interact with different people in different circles. So you build on that, and then it will grow. So just get engaged with them, stay engaged with them, interact with them, and then you get those results as with time. Just keep at it and work at it. See those who have done it and how they have done it. And then it takes time. Put in your time, give it your time, and engage with these people on social accounts. Don't just follow and like, but comment, demonstrate your knowledge about the person, do some research about the person, get to know them, and then it will help you. It will really help you in your future engagements with this person, and it will build your customer base. I'll give an example now. There's someone I'm trying to engage, an influencer, and I'm trying to engage them. So I'm reaching out to them. I'm going to meet them. I'm going to refer to what I've heard about them. And this is someone who's known even in East Africa. I actually got to know about her from there. But then I realized that they could help me with another project I'm working on, which is setting up a business network where business people come together. So I'm doing my research and getting there because I know she could be very influential in getting this done. So that is what you have to do. Follow the system. The systems work. It has worked for other people. Stick to it and do it, and then you also be able to get those results. Wow, I see time is running out, but that's what I really wanted to bring out. Maybe parting shots would be, what can I say? Yeah. Parting shots would be, influencer marketing is good. Use it. Be systematic about it. Read about it. Use it in your own influence. Yeah, Rev Walter wants to say something in the remaining 2 minutes. Let me give you a chance to say so. Go ahead. You can unmute and speak.
Thanks, and very, very, very good topic. And all of us here, I know, are working very hard to do that. One of the little things I just want to warn, sort of like a friendly advice to some of our people, is to never do the so-called exchanges. You know, you've seen a number of people saying, let's follow each other and you can comment so that people can also, you know, that kind of stuff. It doesn't work for the same reason why buying likes doesn't work. Because you get people that are just going to like for the sake of liking. I mean, promoting the like button is the worst thing. I mean, if you want just numbers for the sake of saying, I have numbers, that's fine. But can you wield those numbers? Can you make those numbers do what you'd like them to do? And what you'll discover for most people is a no. So to build the numbers, like Anne has said, takes years. I'll just be honest. It takes years of consistently posting and engaging with your audience. That's the one part that's so time consuming. It's annoying, but you know what? If you really want to build a following that has influence, like she's been saying, if you want people to be able to say, yes, I'll click on the link and go check out your product or whatever it is, it's going to come from the fact that you engage with them. And by engaging with them, you are posting things that scratch their itch on the back. And if you do that more consistently, then they are willing to also come back. And of course, the beauty about the social media platforms is that when one person comments, all their friends will see. So there's an exponential effect on your activity online. So this is why big companies even engage social media management people, because it's real work and it's real people, and you have to comment. If you don't, the algorithms punish you by serving your post less and less, and that's again really depressing and really time consuming. But it's a serious thing. You can't run away from it, because bottom line before I close is, do you really wield influence in that group? You can know, because when you ask those people to do something, to take action, they're able to take it. If they are not able to take it, it means you have no influence. And when people know that, then that's how other people are willing to come and pay money on your platform in order to also reach to your audience. Back to you, Anne.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Rep. Walter, for that input. Yes, this is really something which will work. Oh, a warm welcome to one of my newly acquired friends from Kenya, Gladys. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation and coming and joining us this morning. Thank you so much. Karibu sana. Okay, our time is up. Have a lovely week. Remember, good influencer marketing can be a win-win. Do it right, go for it, and make it work for you. Have a lovely day. God bless you. Bye-bye.